So this will be about 30 minutes of demo. I'm going to go through primarily the 3D and rendering side of ClosetPro. There'll be a few design elements, but that'll be limited. At the end, I'll throw up a screen where I'll have my email where you can follow up with any questions or topics that you'd like covered on future webinars, or if you'd like to upgrade your version or learn more about ClosetPro software. So I think that's all I want to go through at the start. I'll stop sharing this screen and I'll bring up my ClosetPro system and we'll get into it. Okay, so this is just the dashboard of ClosetPro software. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this. I'm just going to go into users and I'm going to find myself here. And I've got just my test customer for this. When I click in, as we all know, these are active designs. I'm just going to use this black and white render for the discussion today. So when we get to this all walls page, you see we have a view in 3D up here. This will bring you into the interactive 3D, which is going to be the bulk of what we cover today. But first, I think I'll just get out of the way the single wall view. So if we just click into, let's say, our wall 3, this is our biggest wall. You see, again, we have view 3D up here, but we have view all walls, which is the same as that interactive. And then we have view this wall in 3D. So I'll just show you how this looks at the start. So this, we just have a pivoting 3D view of your wall. You can't interact with this. You can, however, click show close, refresh 3D view, and that will populate. But this is really just a sort of a standalone 3D representation. Like I said, the bulk of what we're going to go through is in the interactive 3D. So I'll jump in there and we'll get started. All right. So this is our interactive 3D. I'll go through a few of the basic things first, and then we'll kind of graduate as we go. So just to start, we have our controls over here. This is for desktop. We'll get into the tablet view, which is new. That's a little later. WASD, move forward, back, left, right. Click and drag moves you around. And so we can just push into this closet and we can begin to look around and see what we got. So I'm using this closet because we've got, you can't see right now, but you will see when we when we do the renders, we've got strip lighting. You can see over here, we've got some pucks. We've got some drawers and doors. We have a mirror here and we have a mirror door here as well. So just to get started, again, just some of the simple things you can do. You see you have buttons here, open drawers and doors. You can open these drawers up if you'd like. Let's see, we have another drawer stack over here. Close those back up. Open doors if you'd like to see the shelving. Z and X bring you up and down. So X raises you up, Z brings you down. So you can see everything here. Close these up. Same functionality as on the single wall. We have our show close here. So we click show close, refresh view, and that will populate. Now, I'm not going to do it right now, but I will in a little bit. I'm going to show you how to, when you do just show close and refresh it, it randomizes male, female. In a little bit, I'll show you how to choose a specific gender for each wall. So we'll do, let's say, man on this corner, and we'll do the woman over here. We'll get into that in a bit. So some of the aesthetic things you can do, I'll just pull out a little bit, are over here in our gear icon. So you slide this out, and you see we have a number of different floor types. So I'll look down for you. I've chosen this one as one that I'm going to use, what I've used in our renders and throughout, but you can go through and you can click on, as you can see, these different variations. to try and match your customer's floor as best as possible. And we have carpet. And so carpet really is going to be your best bet for getting a specific color if it's not a hardwood floor. We have our wall options here. We see tan, white, and gray, slight variations there. But we can go into, just flick it back here. We can do on this side with the wrench, you can get into some more advanced walls and floors. So a simple thing you can do is you can flip grain if it's a hardwood floor. If you want to do advanced floors, and let's say, I don't know, we do something crazy like a red, this will automatically change it to a carpet. So it'll flip that over. If you'd like to change that, just pop it back out. You see it changed to carpet here. We can put this back. For advanced walls, we can do the same thing. Let's say, I don't know, maybe we've got like a light blue. You can see the color just changes here as you go. So I'll do something like this. And you can see this wall has changed here. Also in this corner, in this slide out, we have light hue and light position. So we push into the closet a little bit, spin around. We automatically light this for you. That I think is probably just the best lighting that as a standard. Now, if you have windows in here and you want to try and make it realistic to show where the sunlight would come in, you can move this lighting angle and you can see how the light moves around the room. So you can just kind of swing around and you can tell that the light source kind of pivots around. Now, just to go back, you reset and it flicks back right there. For light hue, maybe your customer has some warmer bulbs in there. You can obviously change this. It just standardizes to brighter and to this angle. Now, one thing, if your customer does have walls like this, let's say, and this will be maybe the first sort of next step up, we have what was called views over here, advanced views. So I'm going to come over here and this will allow you, this is going to let us do two things. The first thing is we can save selected views to show our customer, and that will dictate where we go in the 3D. Also, if we save a view with a new wall option, this will color the walls on our build page. So I'll just name this inside left corner. Just type down here, save view. And so now you see up here, we've got our inside left corner view. So I'll pop out and I'll show you how this has altered so now you see that this blue is in the design. Now this only happens if you do that save view. If not, it will default back to the standard gray that you have. So it's up to you how you want to do that. But now when we go back into view all walls in 3D, it's going to put us into our first saved view. So from here, maybe I'll do a few more of these saves and I'll show you what we can do with that. Back up a little bit, maybe drop down. Let's just do a left wall. Now notice you can overwrite these views as well. So if you mess up, you can just overwrite. Maybe we got our shoe shelves here. Do something like that. And then let me back out. And another useful tool, especially when you have a closet like this, is the wall selector up here. So we have wall 1 and 5. Let's say maybe we want to clear those out so we can see just a broader unobstructed view of the closet. I'll unselect those and I'll refresh this view and it opens it up. So now I'll just let's take walls 1 and 5, remove. Do that. So now when you have these, when you have multiple views saved, you can click the drop down here, select what you like, and load view. Now that puts you into our first left corner. We have our shoe shelves. Now this operates similarly to how the renders will work, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Left wall and back out. Now to edit these views, you can click this button. This again is going to be something that we cover in renders as well, but looking at it here, you have the option of moving these around. So maybe we want to start with the shoe shelves, then we get to the left corner, left wall, and then we show walls 1 and 5 removed. If you don't want to show these, you can simply just hide them and they won't pop up, or you can delete the views entirely. If you'd like to rename them, you can do that here and just hit save changes. Another neat thing you can do here is obviously you see the export views. So if we click this, it'll download a PDF file, which you can see is down at the bottom of my browser. When I open this up, it's just simply a views document. So you get our first inside corner, you get our left wall, our shoe shelves, and then open. So this is another way of, if you're still in the design process with your customer and you haven't made it to the proposal page yet, and you want to just share some updated views, you can do this. It's a nice way of maybe giving them some quick updates without all of the details of the closet, without the pricing, and without having to put everything into a proposal, where the majority of this is going to live at the end of the day, but sort of an interim step can be done this way. Okay. So now let me go back and I'll show you, I'll put these walls back on. Okay, and pop back up. Now I'll show you how to, like I said, change the clothes on each wall. So we want walls 1 and 2 to be male clothing. So I'll pop up this gearbox here. For those of you who use our software, you're familiar with this right side. This is a lot of the aesthetics. The left side here is more sort of your design and build controls. So as you scroll down, we get to clothes type on this wall. And I'll do men only. Just click go, and that will update. You're not going to see anything on this page, but you'll see it when we go into the 3D. I'll come down and I'll do that for this wall as well. Wall 3, I'm just going to leave. We've got a lot of shoe shelves there. Let's assume that they share. We can do that. Now this is by wall at the moment. It's not by unit. So something to consider when you're using this feature. Okay. So now you see when we get in, we have all men's clothing here on 1 and 2. Our third wall is split. So you've got some women's clothing. You've got a mix of the shoes. You've got the men's jackets still on the third wall. And then we get over here to women's clothing. You open the door, you see we've got some stacks of clothing there as well. So helpful for making the design as realistic as possible, and quick enough to do. If you want to change it back, it's the same process. Just go back, set everything to mixed, and it'll randomize. Okay, so next thing I wanted to show. So I want to look at, we have here a mirror. I have a little granite countertop. So I mentioned we have puck lights here. We have strip lighting on the side. Here we don't have any pucks, but let's say maybe I'd like to throw some pucks in here. I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll call for a render on those, and then I'll show you the other renders that we have. So this is the one little sort of design tidbit, but this will cover. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you custom unit, and I'll show you how you add lighting to your verticals and to your top shelves. So in the build page here, we're on wall 3. This is where I want to put my pucks, on the bottom of these top units. So I'll just hover over my 4. I'll go to edit unit. Here's where you have all of the options. So now normally when you want to do, you can see strip lighting. So we can run strips up and down the left and right vertical. Now this would be for the top and for the base. So we're just running those. The top shelf, we have strip, and for the base, we have strip. Now these are the top shelves of each of these units. Now I want to put pucks on the bottom of this top unit. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to customize top unit. I have doors on it right now, so I'll just pull these off so that I can edit this fixed shelf here. Pull out my fixed shelf, and I've just come over to my fixed shelf with a puck on it. Drop the puck in, open up doors, and snap those back on. And then submit. And now we have a puck. It's hard to see here, but you'll see it when we get into the 3D. I'll just do this for each of these. All right, now we'll go back into our 3D. Again, we're put into this corner because we have the saved views on, and this is the first one. So I'll come down and we have our pucks here. Let's back out a little bit. Let's say this is the shot we want. We want to see the pucks, maybe a little bit more of the room. And now this is where we get into our renders. So the little camera icon you pull out here, and this is where you have access to your renders. So there's 2 render types. There's snapshot and there's 360. Right now we're going to do just a snapshot. A snapshot is literally just taking the image that you've stopped on here. So you position yourself and it's going to take a screen grab of what you have there and render it. You're likely going to want to do high res, and let's do pucks. And then I'll send this off, submit file for rendering, and off it goes. And now I'll get an email when that render is done. It will automatically attach to the job. But right now we can just continue working. Now I've pulled renders already. You can see we have pucks render requested, but let me show you what I've already pulled for the renders. So to view what you have, you just click this view button. And now these are some renders that I've generated already. See some of the lighting on the hardwood floors here. We've got strip lighting going up and across. You can see the reflection on some of the hardware, the reflection in the mirror here, as well on the door here. And you just have little arrows here to click through. So I took a nice little inside corner. Now I didn't make the changes to men's clothing and women's clothing before I took these renders. So just make note of that. If you want to do that, do all of that before you call the renders. You see our pucks up here. Now just kind of spinning around. You see a nice little sheen on the shoe fences. Just a straight on here with our mirror. Again, nice little corner shot, reflection in the mirror here, and again here. This is just a little zoom in on the countertop. I knocked the walls off and took one here. You can see how the light really pops off of the units here. And then this is a 360. So you can see the click and drag. Now 360, you can't move around, but you can swing. So I can't push forward, back, left, or right, but I can up, down, and really just pivot on a central point. So you can see how nice this looks in the high res 360. We got the pucks here. Again, we've got a nice mirror here. If we have time at the end, I can show you a render where we have windows. Gives you a nice view of the outside. And I think this is the last one I have. Yeah. Okay, so I hit back and I'm back here. Real quick, I'll show you just, so for the 360, the way that works is, again, position yourself, do a little look around this way to see, okay, yep, I see enough of that. See enough of that. If you want to push forward any more to get a little bit more of the corners, you can do that. Pull it out, and you're just going to call a 360 here. And then it's going to render out where you are in the room. Now, once you have renders, as you see, we have the view button. We also have edit. So we click edit. And again, it's going to operate in the similar way to our saved views. You can rearrange them by just dragging up and down. You can choose to hide them, or you can delete them. Now, these will be, the hide and the delete will be useful if you're sharing with customers, and for whatever reason, maybe you want to hold on to them, but you don't want to share them with the customer. Whatever you want to do. We also have a download link here. So click download, and this gives you just an image. I can right click and save image as. And then I can have the render image like that. Again, right click, save as. And a little bit of zoom on this, but not much. Okay. So now when you get through, actually, let me show you now that I'm going to take us to proposals in a minute, but let me show you the new feature we've got. So we just launched this earlier this week. You can see here this orange tablet view. So obviously this is more intended for those of you using ClosetPro on a tablet, on an iPad, Surface, what have you. Click tablet view. So now put me back to our first loaded view, and you can see these two buttons here. Let me push out and swivel around so it's maybe a little easier. So these act basically as joysticks. Push forward. The left one here moves you around. And this moves your head, swivels you. So we just launched this. Again, I'm sure there will be continued updates to the movement and to the functionality of this. But for now, I think this is a massive improvement to where we were with tablets, making it much easier for you to navigate. You can do this on the desktop like I am right now too, but I think you're really better off using your keys and swiveling. But for our tablet users, I know we've gotten a few of you who do that. This view should be helpful. And then turn it off, you just click it again and off it goes. And now we're back into, like I said, our first view here. So I think my pucks, yep. So my puck view is ready. So that was only a couple minutes. You can download this and see what it looks like. So here we go. Got our pucks across the top. This is the render that I just called while we were on the call. Okay, so that is utilizing the 3D in ClosetPro. Let me now show you what that can look like in terms of putting it to a proposal and sharing with a customer. So we have our export views if you just want to share your saved views with customers. We have our downloadable renders if you want to just send those over. But if you're happy with the job and you're ready to go, we'll just click through, continue to step 4, and we'll finish this closet. It's right here still. To send it to a proposal, just going to check this box. We're going to create a new proposal. If we want to put in any, looks like we're running an installation discount this month, so we're taking 10% off. It'll automatically calculate that for you. These can be additive or subtractive. So this is clearly a discount. If you want to put in, I don't know, maybe a charge for something else, you can do either dollar or percent, and it'll add up. Just come down here. We've got our disclaimer text, which you can do however you'd like. Same with proposal expiration and link expiration. We won't worry about those too much right now. We're just going to get into the proposal. So I'll save this proposal. I've selected everything. You can choose to turn on and off what you like. But now we're down here. So this is our proposal ID 1443, black and white render. You can accept on behalf of the customer. You can email, release, or delete. We'll move it back up here. So it's not going to erase the entire job. It just will take it out of a proposal. Now let's do, I'll generate a PDF. Again, select what you'd like and generate those files. And so now in this PDF document, there are two ways of really sharing proposals. There's the PDF, and then I'll show you the link that you can copy and send to your customer as well. So if you have a draft email or a standard email that you typically send, you can include the link and shoot it off to them. So once it's done, we have a view button. I click view and this downloads here. So now I open this up. We have a little cover sheet. This would be your information and your customer information. Again, whatever you chose to put in. We've got some of the selections throughout, our overhead, tech drawings. Again, you can choose to turn these off. Probably not as relevant for customers, but totally up to you. It's a little, just looking at this, it's a little outside the scope of this conversation, but you can edit what shows on your tech drawings. It's a slide out on the right when you're viewing tech drawings. You can select what is shown and you can change the font size to maybe clean some of this up. We have our 2Ds. So this is just basically what the build page looks like as we go through. And then we get to our saved views. So you see inside left corner, we got our left wall, our shoe shelves, and walls 1 and 5 removed. And then we're getting to now renders, pucks, back wall, left inside corner. I think you get the idea. All of our renders are shown here. And then we close with some of the selections and the final proposal page. Now, one thing that you don't get in the PDF that you get in the link, which is right here. I'll just highlight this. Let me log out. So now this is what your customer will see when you send them that link. Here's our proposal, and you can view this. Now, when they click View 3D, they'll be put into the actual 3D, and they'll be put in where you have wherever you've saved the first view, and they can do this as well. But then again, they're just in the 3D, so they can move around. And they can choose to open drawers themselves, open doors, and they can remove the clothes or add the clothes. They won't have access to the type of clothes, but that's up to you. They can just sort of work off of what you've built. But now they can kind of come out here, look around. They can use the tablet view as well if they like. If they're using If your customer is going to be viewing on an iPad, they can use the tablet view as well. And if we hit escape, we just reset back here. All right. So I think we've gotten through most of what I wanted to cover. It's 2:30, so that leaves us about 15 minutes. So let me stop sharing my screen. I'll pull up or stop sharing the tool. I'll pull back up our PowerPoint. I have some just some information here. So for those of you who aren't currently customers but are interested in trying the software, we have a free trial. Just go register at draw.closetprosoftware.com. If you're currently using Draw and you want to upgrade to an enterprise, or if you want to learn more about private render servers, we do that for some bigger clients, and they're really effective in terms of expediting renders. You can just email me, jcb@closetprosoftware.com. Also email me if with any feedback on the webinar, or if there are any additional topics you'd like covered in the future. We plan on doing these every couple months. This one was really well attended. So yeah, if there's anything you'd like covered, shoot an email and we'll sort through and you know, we'd like to do things that are topical for you guys. And then we have YouTube and an Instagram. We post pretty regularly to Instagram. Our YouTube has quite a few videos on it. This again will go up. We'll throw one up on tablet view, but as we do new things, we'll add them to YouTube. So let me see if I can unmute. I'll unmute Joe and Megan. I have a few questions that came through first that we'll cover, and then if Joe or Megan, if you guys have any that are unresolved in chat. So one of the questions, these are questions that came in through the registration. Mirror doors and lighting. So lighting is kind of what I showed you in edit unit, and you just select strip lights there. In terms of mirror doors, I can go back to that and show you. Again, if you want to trial, draw.closetprosoftware.com, email jcb@closetprosoftware.com for any of this. So I'm gonna pull this down now, and I'll show you real quickly how we do mirror doors and maybe how we do this as well. So I'm still in our customer page. I will release this so we can design on it again. First, real quick, I'll just show you how to do the mirror here. So you just use a material, add a material, and select a cleat. Once you do that, it populates here. You size it, left offset, and then if you want to put a mirror in it, this is going to be the same way you do doors, but I'll show you that. You need to select anything really but slab or solid wood, something that has an insert. So if we select shaker, then we get the option to select clear glass mirror or frosted glass if we want an insert outside of just the standard shaker material. I'll go to the wall where we have our door. If I do edit unit, same deal. So when you throw a door on there, then that populates down here. You can select the type of door. Now you'll do that in custom unit as well. But I have you can change it here. I have single left. I made it a shaker, and then I put a mirror in it. And again, lighting just happens over here. Top shelf, strip lights, or if you want to put a fixed shelf with pucker strip, you can do that in the custom unit tool. There's a question about saving default views. That can be done every time. That's not an option, just given how unique all these closets are, but you can do it per closet. You can't do it system-wide. A potential issue about colors not looking correct. For instance, a white looking like a beige or a gray. If that's the case, If any of you are having issues with how renders are displaying, just shoot us an email. We might have to update your 3D color chips, but just let us know and we'll take a look. Question about customizing unit. We kind of looked at that. You just customize here, and then it gives you the option to do whatever you like. Throw shelving in, doors, drawers, what have you. Renders being skewed. If you notice, I don't know if this is the issue, but you notice you scroll down a little bit to see the entirety of the image you're going to take. Also make note of kind of where your eye level is. So maybe if you come down, might help square things away for you. Just give that a try. I know the way the browser sort of automates you up to the top, but there's quite a bit of space down here that we're using in that render as well. And then we had one question on tops and uppers. Really up to you. These would be tops. Uppers are going to be up above. So if you're designing to the ceiling, you're typically going to want to use uppers. That being said, I'm not a closet designer, so your best bet in that regard would probably be talking to one of our colleagues in the industry. Anybody? Did Joe and Megan? Their question to drag a double door into the into this space. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So there's a question to instead of the single here, can we do a double door? I'll show you how to do that. So I'll customize. See our door sitting here. We have our hinge. Pull it off, let it go. Now the way doors work. So here's a double. If I just put it here, it's going to snap between the two fixed shelves. So now if you want it to run to the outer, hover it over this middle fixed shelf and snap it there. And that will run it to the outer fixed shelves. I'll submit that and we should have a double door. So if I just view this wall in 3D, there you go. Let me see. Okay, a question about overwriting a view. So if I go into view all walls, this was our inside left corner. Maybe to overwrite, let's take that off. I'll do it like that. Okay, so there now we have, so I'll load a different view. We have the close on. Inside left corner, we load that, closer off. So follow the naming convention, overwrite view, and you should be good to go. The lighting will save here. If it does not come over in the saved view in the 3D, just open it up and you can just re-click. It'll be saved here, but it might not show. But it will be saved in your saved views when you export them. Same goes with drawers and doors. So if you open drawers and you do a saved view, when you come back, it's going to automatically show them closed in the 3D. But that saved view, when you export it, will be, I can just show you. Drawers open, save view. So you can see that it comes back here. But if we export these views, we'll have the drawers will be open. At least they should be. There you go. So they will be saved in the view when you export it, but the 3D defaults back to being closed. Let me just see. Joe and Megan, were you guys able to unmute? Probably not.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is there anything sort of outstanding in the chat?
Someone asked about an island. I don't know if you want to do one or not. I think that was basically it.
Just an island. Joe, are you there too? Did you have any? No, he's all right. Let me go back. I'll just do. I'll start a design and show you quickly how we add an island. For those of you who are not currently using the system, you'll get to see just the beginning process of starting a closet. So I'll just do. I'll name it island. Select the color here. We have different levels. I'll just do white. And select the hardware, floor, wall, shared or doubled. I'll just leave all this as is, but you can change all of that. Again, just the general outline of ceiling height and top shelf, unit depth. We have a pre-fill closet here, which doesn't really matter for us at the moment. I'll just leave it on. And then drawing. So just draw around. You can see this is stuck. That's fine. If you make a mistake, undo. When you're done, come over, finish drawing. And then you have access to these measurements. So I'll make this 90, 190, 90. I'll update that. Continue. And now this is where it asks us to do the walls. This is also where we have the option to do an island. Oh, actually, I have to do the walls first. So let's say all, I'm going to use this, all this one, fill these. You get this option only when you pre-fill. If you don't pre-fill, it's going to be all or none. So when you pre-fill, we automatically account for sort of the filler space there. We'll just do like a single island here. And then this is how you would add an island. So you click and you attach then to the island. You can move it wherever you like. Click to drop. We have the width and the height here. We have some sort of specified heights. The front depth. And the clearance is going to be the distance to each of these sides. So we've got 2 feet clearance so that you know. We'll just do that. And we have our island 1. And then we go into start design. We should have a little island here. Here's our island. We'll add a unit. Let's throw in a nice little drawer stack. This is I think a tiny little island. 2 feet wide. View all walls. And there you go. I'm sure you guys can create something a little nicer than this, but maybe throw another drawer stack on there. You bridge a countertop across. While we're here, I guess I can show you. You hit countertops here. It's just going to open up the side. Oh, this is going to bug out on me.
The island, you add it by hovering over the one.
Oh, okay. There we go. See, I'm learning something new. And then you select here whatever you like. I'll just do a butcher block. You select if there's any overhang, how you want the edges and the corners styled. And there you go. We got a butcher block on our island. How you would add countertops to units along the wall is what I was trying to do over here. You would just drop this down, and if you had like a drawer stack across, it will know which sections can take a countertop. So it's smart like that. You can just go
Base
in
units only.
Base units only, yes. Yeah, so that's important when you want to add a countertop, build a base and then a top instead of doing a full unit that has like shelves and drawers attached. You have to build them in 2 separate pieces. All right. I'll pull up again, just one last time, the card for the emails. We've reached the end here, we'll go back through. I'll look at the chat. If there are any questions that require follow-up, we'll reach out to you. I'll look back through the registration as well. But again, if you have any questions, just shoot me an email at jcb@closetprosoftware.com. If you'd like the free trial, just go to draw.closetprosoftware.com and check out our YouTube and Instagram. And we'll be sending around emails. Next time we do one of these, we'll send it around to everybody so that you know. But if there's anything in particular that you'd like covered, just let us know, and we'll make a note of it so that we can put out stuff that you guys are looking for. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. This was really well attended. You know, whether you're a customer or not, thank you very much. To the people who are currently customers, we greatly appreciate your business, and thanks for joining, and look forward to continuing to work together. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.